afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the High Horror Society. It's Zach and Kyle here. We're going to be examining DEATHGASM, a little horror film from 2015. Kyle, how you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you, sir.
Nice.
So yeah, let's get right into it.
For sure. Let's do it.
DEATHGASM, a little bit about this movie. It's a pretty typical horror setup. It's a group of nerdy high school kids. Some accidentally summon a demon known as the Blind One by playing this ancient music that they find in a metal album of all things. And of course, all hell breaks loose, and they have to band together as a team and try to fight the onslaught of demons and the coming of this blind one. So yeah, pretty standard horror movie breakdown right there. But it's where this movie kind of changes things a little bit is that it's not your straight up horror movie. It's definitely
totally not.
a tongue in cheek horror comedy.
It's quite funny actually. I like it.
Yeah, it was hysterical. We were laughing the entire way through. It was the second time I had seen it. It was the first time Kyle had seen it, and I had kind of forgotten a lot of it actually, and I'm glad that we sat and took notes on it and stuff because there was a lot of little gems and things that kind of stuck out at me that really it made me enjoy the film even more. It's just funny when you do things in this way, like when you're looking at a movie not for entertainment purposes, but to just kind of discuss it how you think about it differently.
Yeah, I actually want to watch it again because it was so funny. And then just thinking about it now, it's kind of like a scary movie where it's like, I mean, that's more funnier than this, I think. But like the scarier parts, it's definitely going off the horror part, but the funnier things were definitely scary movie-ish where there's a lot of dicks and some tits.
There's a lot of dicks, a lot of tits. It's definitely that kind of horror movie.
And if you're a metalhead, totally this movie is. I think you'd enjoy it because I'm a huge metalhead, and it's just funny to see that as like a horror theme. Like we're gonna summon demons with death metal music. We found the sheet music, and the whole town changes.
Yeah,
it's like everyone becomes evil.
Every metal kid's like fantasy, come to life.
Death, kill, slaughter.
Death, kill, slaughter, and like I love that about the movie. It's like in the very beginning, it was just all the metal and the occult symbology and the pentagrams and the metal and it's like, oh my god, this is amazing. And it was really just in your face. And
totally.
It starts off pretty, like I said, pretty basic. Like every horror movie, this kid Brody gets kicked out of his house, or no, his mom ends up in jail or dead or something. I forget
exactly. I forget how.
But it's a very small part. It's like basically it's just a setup so he can go to his aunt and uncle's house who are like super Christian, like hoity-toity. Like
his cousin's a total
stuck-up
douche, like stuck-up douchebag.
Yeah, his cousin's such a douche nozzle. It's just oh god, it was awesome. Like it was so funny. Like it, and we should say that the movie's from New Zealand. I should say that up front because
totally.
Otherwise, a lot of people won't know maybe some of the things we're talking about. Like for one thing that kind of stuck out at me in the movie is like, yes, it's about, I think, high school kids. They never actually came out and said high school, but like I got that impression that they were in high school.
Yeah.
Clearly the actors were in their mid-20s, if not older. Like I was like, oh man, this
definitely
kid.
Not.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely looked young, but they probably, I don't know, maybe it was supposed to be like a vocational school or something, or a trade school, but I didn't get that impression. The kids playing D&D on their lunch break was kind of the giveaway for me that it was probably high school. But either way, it was a small price to pay because the movie, I think that was kind of done on purpose too, actually, because everything about this movie is parody down to the title itself, DEATHGASM. I mean, like how cliche, like it's just like, you're a metal fan, so like the fucking band metal names. They're like, everyone's just trying to outdo everybody
it's like
else.
Anal cunt.
Yeah,
and,
anal cunt. They even talked. Yeah, they said anal cunt in the
just
movie.
The most disgusting, weirdest names.
Yeah, like.
But it's great.
Brain
That's
drill.
what metal is.
It is.
It's like the most obscure, like just darkest, weirdest, disgusting stuff.
Yeah, it's a very cathartic music format, and I didn't I'm not a huge metal fan. I do like some metal, but obviously that's why I was excited to show this movie to you, Kyle, because I knew you liked metal and I knew you would love it. And so
Yeah, the
don't think
references were good. Like for Trivium, like the band Trivium, they were in there like 3 times in a poster on a record
yeah.
that he was like looking through in the record store,
Mm-hmm.
and something else too. So I was like, oh, like it was
Yeah.
good to see like real metal bands kind of showing in the movie.
Exactly.
Like, it's
yeah.
authentic.
So, yeah, you could totally tell this movie was a love letter to metal fans and to the
Totally.
horror
That's a good
comedy
way to say it,
genre.
yeah.
It's the best way to describe it. So if you're a horror fan, I think you're definitely gonna dig Deathgasm. If you're a metal fan, I think you're most definitely gonna dig it.
Mhm.
You know, if you're not into metal, there's still a lot to love here.
Yeah.
You know, it just the movie itself, just like the nods to like the genre classics, and then how it kind of just takes it that extra step over. And I'm making a hand motion over, not that
He's
anyone
like
could see
shooting
it.
a basketball.
Shooting
over.
a basketball, but it takes it a little over the top. That it you know, like the one scene with the kid with the chainsaws. Like every demon slasher movie has chainsaws in it since
Yeah.
like Evil Dead. Like that was like, you know, I'm Ash Williams. That's my weapon. You know, and ever since Evil Dead, every zombie / demon possessed whatever movie has had a chainsaw.
Chainsaw.
Like, it's just the way it goes. You can't have a movie without it.
Mhm.
You know, and this takes it one step further. He has 2 of them, and he does a helicopter spin through the air, and he's slicing up like 6 monsters as he
man.
lands on the ground.
It's
And
perfect.
he lands, and they're all standing there, and the camera's looking at his face, and you can see all the zombies or the demons behind him, and they all fall to the ground.
They're like
at the
split
same
in half from
Yeah.
the chainsaw.
Yeah, exactly. It
cuts
was
his
just
head off.
the movie's fun. It's full of fun little moments like that, and you know, like I said, we're getting off topic, but so Brody comes, he meets his new aunt and uncle. Well, not his new aunt and uncle, but he comes and lives with his aunt and uncle. His cousin's a dick. He starts at a new school, and you know, it's not going well. He immediately gets, you know, it's taken in by the nerdy kids who are playing Dungeons and Dragons on their lunch break, and you know, he doesn't really kind of find himself until he goes to one of those local town record stores, and he finds that oops. Sorry, I'm unplugging myself here. He goes to the local record store, and you know, he starts looking through the metal albums, and there's this little scene where, you know, he sees this guy next to him, and like this totally wouldn't happen in real life, but like, you know, he goes there, and they kind of like acknowledge one another, and they start showing each other albums and stuff like that, and like you know, he pulls out like, I forget now what it was. I should have wrote it down, but he pulls out like some jokey one, like a John Lennon, or not like a John Denver album or something, that's, like mixed in there or something. And he gets like, what the hell? And then he pulls out one that's like, oh yeah, look at this one. And the guy's like, yeah, man, that's a fucking
The metal
album
one,
right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Man, that was so funny. But like, that never happens anymore. I mean, who the hell goes to record stores anymore anyway?
Yeah.
But maybe that's a big thing in New Zealand. But like,
Maybe.
that got me thinking, like, though, having the record store there, like, I remember, like, there was, like, 2 fucking awesome record CD stores here before the whole MP3 iPhone craze took over, and Spotify and everything
iTunes,
like that.
all that stuff.
But there was a place in called Record Breakers in the
Where was
Schaumburg
that?
area.
Schaumburg? Or-
Yeah, and then there was another place called Diskin' Dats that I remember.
What?
Yeah,
Diskin'?
and it was.
Where was that at?
I don't remember, to tell you the God's honest truth. I only ever went there when other people drove. I was like 15.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah, I was young.
well, you were
young,
closer to the city too, right? You were like Villa
Yeah.
Park.
Right,
Was
but I think this was after we moved. It's
Oh,
hard
okay.
to remember those days, honestly. But either way, so like it reminded me of that. Like, man, we don't have these record stores, because we would go there as kids and like literally sit there and look at albums all day long. Like,
Totally.
You know, they had DVDs and movies and all sorts of stuff. But either way, again, off topic. So they were at the record store. He meets the kid. Everybody's like super happy. Not really. So they decide to start a metal band, and that's kind of how everything starts to unfold, and that's kind of where I'll leave it with the spoilers. But you should be forewarned if you're listening to this. We are going to talk about this movie a lot. So if you are listening and you haven't seen it, this probably will be riddled with spoilers. I'll do my best to keep it from the main plot points.
We won't go too detailed.
Yeah. But so yeah. Anyway, the kids somehow summon the blind one, and all hell breaks loose. Everybody in town's possessed. One thing I didn't understand, and this is probably just stupid. Again, it's just one of those B horror movie things. Like, and this movie again is just a B horror movie parody, like to its core. Is like, how come everyone didn't get possessed? I know the band players didn't get possessed because they were playing the music, but like not everyone was possessed. Like, maybe I don't know. It was just one of those things. Like, what made the math teacher possessed? Like, remember? And
why
he barfed on that girl twice? Like, and everyone was just like okay with it.
Yeah, the kids
like,
were fine.
Went about their day. The teacher shat blood in front of the class and then threw up blood on the hot blonde twice.
Part. Holy shit.
Yeah, and then school just went on, and like they were at band practice the next day. Like,
oh man.
Yeah, that's how you definitely know it's a New Zealand movie. Because if that happened in America, there'd be like Facebook posts about it.
Right.
It'd be, like,
everybody's
all over Reddit and everything.
Somebody's videoing it already.
Yeah.
Teacher puking on the
exactly.
kid.
It'd be Snapchat
shitting his
everywhere.
pants.
Yeah, that wouldn't work here in America, guys. So unrealistic.
Everybody's filmed.
Yeah, but that was hysterical though. Like, either way, like it, and that's kind of one of the things about it. Like, that was so funny. It was one of those movies where you just don't ask questions. You just kind of just accept it.
You just go with it.
Yeah, you just go with it.
Just laugh.
Because it's funny. And this movie is very funny. There's a lot of these little moments throughout that just, like, they really just make you laugh. And, like, again, there's so many nods to the genre classics, like, especially Evil Dead 2. Like, I can't say enough how much this movie reminded me of Evil Dead 2, and not necessarily in a bad way. Like I said, it was definitely a love letter to Evil Dead, to that one by Peter Jackson. What is it? Dead Alive. I don't know if you've ever seen Dead Alive.
I'm not honestly too familiar with too many horror movies. I might have seen it, but I don't know. I'm like, oh yeah, that one is the one I saw.
We'll add it to the list. It's another one of those.
It's just more to watch.
Super gory, over the top, fucking like.
Yes.
The guy has a lawnmower and he like just starts mowing these zombies. I forget if they're zombies or demons or it's been. I haven't watched it since I was a kid, but it was definitely that style.
I love the ridiculous lawnmower throwing a push mower in someone's face.
Yeah, exactly. And the blade chopping everything. It was amazing. It was just a blood and gore fest. It's made by Peter Jackson, who obviously went on to do the Lord of the Rings movies and everything. All those. Right. Yeah, so it was like one of his first couple of movies he did. Yeah, he did a bunch of like old horror movies. One of his first ones was called Bad Taste, about aliens that came down and abducted humans for their intergalactic fast food chain. Like humans were the meat in the burgers or something like that. Yeah, it's out there, twisted. Just it's funny.
It's kind of like a Futurama episode where they collect those little nuggets and starts eating them.
The poplars. The poplars. Oh
the
my
poplars.
God.
That's
I
great.
reached way back in my brain for that little nugget there. But again, I can't get over how much this movie reminded me of Evil Dead 2. Just like the zombie or the demons, the way they talked, and just the over-the-top gore and violence. Like, even the part where like they were trying to steal the record from the metal guy, like he's there and he's asleep and then he wakes up. Like that's they do that gimmick in Evil Dead over and over.
You're just waiting for like the eyes to open.
Exactly.
Like, they zoom in like 4 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's classic Evil Dead style stuff.
Well, the good thing is, if people don't know, I'm not a huge movie fan. Like, I love movies. I don't know like the directors and like all that stuff. More music guy, but I'm down to watch whatever you suggest, and especially you telling me like he made this, he made these other movies. Like it's good to hear the connections between what other directors have done, because he obviously went from horror to Lord of the Rings, and like that's awesome to expand.
Jump, right?
It's a huge jump.
Yeah.
Like it's nuts.
There's actually a lot of that in Hollywood, and that I kind of hate actually. Like,
they're bouncing around too much, or
well, like you do like. And Peter Jackson's one of the few, I guess. I shouldn't say that because, like, he worked his way up. But, like, one of the trends recently in Hollywood is, like, you have, like, a hit indie movie, a studio, like, gets you and throws you on a big picture. Like,
Like M.
It
Night
had,
Shyamalan.
yeah, similar.
Or
But
like
like the guy who
whatever his name
directed
is.
like the newest Godzilla movie,
Okay.
he also did the newest Star Wars, the Rogue One.
Okay.
He Garth Edwards, I believe his name is. He did a little movie called Monster. It was like an independent monster movie, and it
Okay.
did pretty well. And then bam, he gets Godzilla, and then bam, he gets a Star Wars movie.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
how
Okay.
crazy is that? He
Yeah,
goes
that's
from like,
huge.
yeah, that's a huge leap, and
Huge
I
jump.
think he pulled it off well. Because I mean, Godzilla's it's a fair movie. I don't know if
Okay.
you've seen it, but
No.
it was a pretty good movie. I didn't hate it.
The last Godzilla I saw was with the guy in Cable Guy. What's
Matthew
his...
Broderick, the one from like 1998.
When like
the
P
Puffy
Diddy
song,
was
yeah.
on like the
Come with
soundtrack.
me.
Oh my god, I love that because I think that was like a Led Zeppelin.
It was a Led
song.
Zeppelin song.
And
yeah,
like
he even
for
had,
some reason I was like,
I think he even had Robert Plant or Jimmy Page
think
in
so.
the music video.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
God.
guitar part. I
Yeah.
think so. It was just like, to me, I was like, this is heavy, and I was like really young, obviously.
Yeah.
Was it 98?
98.
Holy
Yeah.
crap,
I was
yeah.
in 8th grade.
Oh man, so I
God,
was
I-
like,
it was
what's... But
such
man,
a terrible movie. Anyway, back to DeathGasm. Sorry, we're getting off topic.
Godzilla.
There, so yeah. Anyway, but that's like a trend in Hollywood. Give them a low budget and then throw them at it. But back to like what I was saying about DeathGasm. It's like I said, it's an Evil Dead love letter and a metal love letter. And as Kyle said, they showed Trivium several times. There's tons of other metal references, a lot that I didn't get. Apparently, that one scene where they showed that music video where they're in the woods and like, they're just like popping their heads out from behind the trees and like,
man.
he has like
yeah,
all
they got the face
the
paint
face
on,
paint,
the like
apparently.
the Swedish,
That-
European death Swedish like face
Yeah.
paint, white with the black eyes. Like it's
apparently that is like an exact replica of another like classic metal video like that I don't
they
I
were
would
like
put-
referencing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, and I watched a clip of the metal video, and it's exactly like that, like the face paint.
But
like the,
in that one, the guy kisses that dude, like was it the drummer?
yeah,
When they just start making out. It's like what the fuck?
it's, yeah,
Too funny.
It was great. It was hysterical, but yeah, there's just so many classic little moments in the movie that like any horror fan's gonna love, like the dual chainsaws, the teacher spraying blood all over the student, like, and how everyone forgets about it. How they kind of discover that the music like turns people into demons, and how the kid just like has a really bad day at school and
Yeah.
just decides, fuck it, man, I'm gonna do
Let's
this.
go play this song and turn
Yeah.
everyone into demons.
Everyone's gonna be a demon now.
And of course, the hot girl turns into like a metalhead. She's
Yeah.
like a badass all of a sudden.
Right?
'cause
Yeah. He introduces her to the metal,
Here's music.
and she
It's metal
listens to it for
music.
the first time, and she like is like, whoa, and like immediately zooms to like her on a mountaintop, and like she's got
oh
like
my god,
Viking gear with like an axe, and there's two hot
girls
babes
making
next
out.
to her on the mountain. And it's just like bum, 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 just so funny.
She's oh man,
Oh, I loved it.
totally. It was great.
It was.
That's something from like South Park when what was it when I think it's when they get the cat spray, the cat piss in their face.
Oh
And, like,
yeah, they
and
start hallucinating.
Kenny starts tripping out, and then
Yeah.
Stan's dad is doing it too.
That's from Heavy Metal. Have you ever seen the anime Heavy Metal?
I don't think so.
Really? Oh
No.
man, we gotta add that to the list too.
Okay.
You would like that.
Man.
It's basically like
I'm
an
missing out.
anthology movie of all these little anime shorts from like the 80s. I think they've made sequels since then, but it's basically like living in the world that like metal album covers depict. Like it's just
That sounds
girls with
cool.
like big breastplates that like are
Yeah.
barely covering their ginormous
Yeah,
tits.
well, especially
that-
like Iron Maiden
Yeah.
albums, like they're just skeletons and crazy
Exactly.
cartoon looking.
Right, so it's
It's-
like if
that's
we
awesome.
lived in that world, what would it be like? So
It'd be
there's all
nuts.
these little shorts. It's pretty good actually.
Yeah,
But
let's watch that.
one of the funny things about Deathgasm is obviously the name, and this is something that I found the other day about it that was pretty interesting to me. Is that Walmart actually last year refused to sell the movie under the name Deathgasm. So
Really?
yeah, so if you're looking for this movie, to purchase, because I don't know who purchases movies these days, physical movies
Is that
anyway.
still? Well, actually, we bought some at Walmart for like $2, like Ninja Turtles and like some glass.
Well, it's obviously
Dude, we
Ninja
got
Turtles.
1, 2, and 3 of the turtles when they went to China, like all that shit.
Oh,
It was
the
perfect.
scepter. They went
We
back
had
in time.
It was such a great marathon.
That's
Oh, man.
fantastic. I would
Sorry,
love that.
carry
That's
on.
okay. But if you're looking for Deathgasm at Walmart, you won't find it under the name Deathgasm. Apparently, they sell it under the more acceptable name Heavy Metal Apocalypse.
Oh my god!
Right? I don't.
Heavy Metal Apocalypse. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just weird. It's one of those things, like, it doesn't change the movie at all. It is the name. It says what it is, basically. But like, I don't know, you
I
lose
guess it
something.
does.
Like, you lose something.
It's
with
just so
that.
generic because
Yeah.
that's like just. I mean, I guess Walmart's pretty generic, so it kind of goes with.
I don't understand it because, like, obviously, if you're gonna purchase a movie called Deathgasm, I don't think it's one of those things that you're just like strolling through Walmart, like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
on my way to get some paper towels and something for dinner, and oh, let me take a look at the new
Deathgasm.
releases. Deathgasm. Oh, honey, what do you think this movie is?
Oh, man.
Maybe we should pick this up. Oh, yeah, that looks great. No, you know exactly what you're
Yeah.
getting with the movie with, like, Deathgasm. Like, you're not going to be curious, and you just, maybe you'll be curious in seeing it, but it's definitely
That's like
for a certain type of person looking for that
1%.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so-
me and you would be like, oh shit, let's get this.
Yeah.
Deathgasm.
Right.
Read the back and be like, this sounds awesome.
just don't carry the fucking movie if you're going to change the name of it.
Yeah,
Heavy
right?
Metal Apocalypse.
That's horrible.
Metal. Just, oh my god, it just pisses me off. I don't know. I hate unnecessary censorship like that. It just,
Yeah, just don't
Yeah.
carry it. I mean,
yeah, just makes no sense.
it's a slap in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, who? Yeah. All right, carry on.
Yeah, either way, it just I thought that was an interesting little tidbit about the
You
movie.
get me all pissed off here.
I'm,
Zach.
no, I'm
just
sorry.
thinking
We're
about it
going
too
off
much.
topic
Ah,
again. We should be
why
talking
would they
about
do that?
Deathgasm. But yeah, I mean, without like spoiling too much, obviously the kids, go back and they summon the demons. Everyone in town turns into a demon, and they all team up to fight them. And there's drama amongst the group of members. That's obviously, and
Yeah. Oh, I gotta read off my notes here. The
Yeah.
first kill. Do you remember who the first demon they killed?
his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, whatever. It's like,
Yeah,
just
he's
totally blew it
kind
off.
of brushed it off.
It's like,
Oh god, the part where he says, what does he say? Something like, he's like, man, something about having an engine dropped on his head or turned into a demon. I think that's how he would want to go. That's pretty brutal. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Like,
What
it's just so funny.
he would want it like this.
Yeah, he would
Get
want
an
it like
engine
this.
dropped on his head.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so stupid. Oh man.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was hysterical. Again, if you're a fan of Shaun of the Dead, Evil Dead the series, or
Yeah.
anything with Bruce Campbell in it, if you're a fan of any of the New Zealand horror genre movies like Bad Taste and Dead Alive and things like that, Deathgasm is right up there. It's a love letter to all those movies. It's quite the gem. I would definitely highly recommend this to anybody who's interested in seeing this. It's so funny. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to see it, being a horror fan. And even
perfect.
Kyle not being a horror fan, he enjoyed the movie. So I
It's-
think
yeah,
that worked out really well.
definitely.
But yeah, anybody who's a fan of and the nods, like, just can't get over how many nods to just all the classic movies. To Peter Jackson and George Romero and Sam Raimi, Argento, all the classic horror names. There's a little bit of everything in this movie, salt and peppered throughout. Salt and peppered throughout, baby. But yeah, it plays on all the horror tropes. The kids aren't really looking like they're in high school. Blood and guts are way over the top violent. Like, it's definitely an homage to the classic horror movies, and I'm excited to see more. I read that there's a sequel in the works. So
Really?
hopefully,
Nice.
hopefully we'll see him return. Well, obviously, because at the end, we won't spoil it, but
Oh man, I already forgot the end.
oh,
That means I
I'll
gotta
tell
watch
you,
it again. But
yeah, watch it again, or I'll tell you off air.
I gotta
I don't want to ruin it for our
try to
audience.
think. Don't think too hard.
Our audience
I
of you and
forgot.
I
That's
right
true.
now.
Nobody's ever gonna hear this.
No one's ever
Watch
gonna listen to
2
this
months
show.
later, 1 million views.
Oh God, that'd be awesome.
No,
If
it's
you do
not.
hear this and you find us anywhere, definitely give us an upvote, 5-star, whatever rating.
Whatever rating.
Whatever rating
Yeah.
you want. Be honest. We
The
want to
High
know.
Horror Society.
The High Horror Society.
Horror, not
Horror.
not horror.
Whore. You're a whore.
You have to do the or
Or
after the
or.
or.
High Horror Society.
There you go. Horror or.
I'm sorry. It's my fat lips. I can't. High Horror Society.
My fat fingers
My
can't
fat
die.
fingers. I can't type on this thing. I can't hit. I hit one number. I get all the numbers.
I went from 1 to 12.
So yeah, go watch DEATHGASM. Stop what you're doing right now. Put
Yeah.
the remote down.
It's on
Put the
Netflix,
phone
right?
down.
So
it is
just
on Netflix.
go to Netflix,
Type in
do what you do,
DEATHGASM, like orgasm,
make some
DEATHGASM.
popcorn. Dude, Himalayan salt. Have you tried Himalayan salt and popcorn?
I have not tried Himalayan.
I mean, you
salt
got to grind it
popcorn.
up even more because it's pretty chunky when you get it.
Yeah.
But like, the salt is so much better than table salt.
Well, you guys made dinner
Mm.
with it the other night. I thought it was
Yes.
really good. Like,
So good.
yeah, it was great.
But in popcorn, ooh, with butter and
I'll
garlic,
have to try that.
garlic powder.
Garlic powder,
Yeah.
Himalayan salt. and
She
butter.
knows how to make some good popcorn.
I'll say that's some gourmet ass fucking popcorn. If
It
I
is.
ever heard it right there.
There is a gourmet popcorn shop in Elgin and the Spring Hill Mall.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Really?
Great popcorn. Me and Cody were like out drinking in Elgin, downtown Elgin,
Yeah.
and they were like about to close. Like I was pretty wasted. I'm like, we want some popcorn, and he opened up the doors, let us pick whatever we wanted,
No kidding.
and it was amazing. It's like garlic, and then like chili powder, all these lime flavors, and then they opened up another one in the mall.
Really?
Yeah,
Holy crap.
it's delicious.
Where is it at in Elgin?
It's downtown Elgin, across from that art gallery. You know the art
really?
gallery?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like right there.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's on. I forget that corner. Chicago and
Chicago and
something.
something.
Wherever that is.
It's not a very big town.
No.
I can't even remember the 3 fucking streets that run through fucking Elgin. Oh,
But
God.
it's delicious.
Good.
So yeah, get some popcorn there.
Get some popcorn.
And go watch
And
DEATHGASM.
go watch DEATHGASM. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll be doing this every week. If you guys have any suggestions, just let us know.
Other movies, whatever.
Thinking about maybe doing like a series of movies and discussing like movie types instead of maybe doing reviews. So just let us know what you want to hear and we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So, thank you
Stay
much.
tuned.
Stay tuned.
We'll
Have
see
a
you
good
next time.
afternoon.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.